What's up, people? Andy here. So I'm gonna tell you guys a story. This is written by Jordan Shingler. He read a story. It's called Gone Fishing. So here we go. Gone fishing. It was the day after the beach trip at the Neffert Hotel. The Loud family are deciding something to do. Lynn Sr. had an idea. "Ah, I have an idea," he said. "What is it, Dad?" said Lincoln. Lynn Sr. said, "How about we go fishing at a river near Elsbridge near the viaduct?" Loud sister said, "Yeah." Lynn said, "Great idea, Dad." Lana said, "Yippee! Fishing!" Lincoln and Lisa said, "Not for us." They groaned. This is like a Thomas episode. Rita spoke to them. "Your dad said we're going to the river near Elsbridge Viaduct." Lincoln and Lisa, she said. "It's on the far branch line where Thomas works, so you can see him crossing the viaduct and wave hey to Thomas." "Thanks, Mom," said Lisa. "Thanks, Mom. Can I bring my comics?" he asked. "Of course," said Rita. The Love family exited the hotel with their fishing equipment and saw Butch the bait jump truck who brought Van Zyl back from repairs. "Here you are, Loud," said Butch. "Van Zyl's fully repaired. You can take it out for a drive." Lynn Sr. thanked Butch. "Thanks, Butch. Have to pay for the repairs." "Don't worry, Mr. Loud, sir." Hey, don't worry, Mr. Loud. Sir Tom had paid for the repairs. "Tell Sir Tom I said thanks for me," said Lynn Sr. "No problem," said Butch. Butch raced back to the search and rescue center. And then the Law family climbed into Van Zyl and they headed off into the river near Elsbridge Viaduct. Meanwhile, at the Elsbridge Viaduct, the fire trucks Red, Petro, and Krabby, along with Websy and Donald Duck, are fishing. Donald said, "This is the life," he said. Websy and the fire trucks agreed, and they heard a horn and a van coming. "Oh, look, guys," said Red. "It's the Law family," said Red. The Lodge jumped out of Van Zyl and were very surprised to see the fire trucks at the river. "Good morning, Red, Petro, and Krabby," said Lincoln. "I see you three are fishing today." "Morning, Lincoln." "Yes, we are," said Red. Lenny, "Is that Don talking a boat?" And Websy fishing on the wooden platform near the river? She asked. "Hey, Donald." "Hey, Websy," said Lori. Donald and Websy looked and saw the Law family with the fire trucks and raved. "Hey, Louds," said Donald. "Wow, wow, Louds," said Websy. "Do y'all mind if we can join you guys?" said Rita. Not at all, Miss Loud," said Petrol. "Fine by me," said Donald. Everybody else agreed. Soon, everybody had settled down to fish, all except Lincoln was reading one of his comics, and Lisa and looked up at the bridge to watch out for Thomas. As for Lisa, she was sitting in the chair reading her science books. Suddenly, everybody heard a familiar whistle. "Beep, beep." "I know that whistle," said Lincoln. "It's Thomas. There he is." Everybody looked up and saw Thomas hauling Annie and Clarabelle across the viaduct and heading northward. For those of you guys who are Thomas fans out there, this one's for you. Thomas called out, "Good morning, everybody. I see you guys are fishing today." Krabby said, "Good morning, Thomas." "Yes, we are." "Good to see you out and about again," said Krabby. "Thanks," said Thomas. "Come on here, Thomas. We must keep moving," said Andy. "Indeed," said Clarabelle. "Otherwise we'll be late." "All right," said Thomas. Sorry, guys. I have to stay on schedule. I'll come back later this afternoon. See you guys later." Everybody said, "See you later, Thomas." Thomas puffed away fast as he could, and everyone went back to fishing. Everybody was enjoying themselves when suddenly, Wow, I think I'll fight," said Websy, as he reeled in his rod. But to his surprise, he caught no shoe. "That's not fish," he said, as he tossed the shoe aside. Donald, too, I caught something. I got a fish. But he caught a bomb, not a fish. "Uh-oh," said Donald in horror. Everybody gasped in shock. When Sr. said, "Donald, get rid of the bomb," he yelled. Donald threw the bomb away into the air and just exploded. How could a bomb explode in the air? You guys tell me that. I think I know, because cartoon physics. So, what's going to do? Kaboom! As the bomb went off. Everybody let out a sigh of relief, but Lily got very frightened. She cried, "Wah! Wah!" she cried. Rita picked her up and comforted her. There, said Rita. Everything's gonna be fine, Lily, including Donald. Within minutes, Lily finally calmed down. Just then, everybody heard Thomas whistle again. Lily smiled. Thomas! She said. Thomas came back to the viaduct and braked to a stop. Thomas looked worried. I've heard an explosion from Ellsbridge Station. From Ellsbridge. And I heard as fast as I could. Is everybody alright? Rich said, everything's alright, Thomas. Down to the bomb went into the air and exploded. Lily got very frightened of it, but Miss Flower calmed her down. Thomas, with a sigh of relief, and re-steamed from the cylinders. Thank God, he said. Then Wubsy finally caught something. Wow, I think I got a fish this time, but I wasn't. It was a submarine. Whoops, sorry. He pushed the submarine back into the river. Bother, he said. I haven't caught a fish today at all. Thomas, knew, but Wubsy wasn't very happy. Thomas said to him, don't worry, Wubsy, my friend. You just have to be patient. I was a very patient engine in my young days. I once left Henry's passenger train behind due to I wasn't coupled until the signalman stopped me and asked me about my train, so I looked back and I got my coaches. But I went back to Naffer and collected my train. See, that's a reference to the episode Thomas's Train, or A Day Out with Thomas, or A Day Out with Thomas, or whatever. Wubsy said, I never knew you weren't a very patient engine back in your young days, but now you're a very patient engine. Thomas smiled. Yes, I am. Oh, you know the one time I went fishing on this very viaduct many years ago. That's a reference to the episode Thomas Goes Fishing. Thomas said, I want to fish. But the engines get the same answer. Engines don't go fishing. I'm gonna say that in a minute. Oh, yes, I am. I think I said that already. Everybody except Wubsy. Of course, I've all heard the story, they said. Wubsy was disappointed. I never heard your story. Can you tell me about it? Yeah, in this part, I'll add a few things to it. Of course, Wubsy said. Thomas smiled. So Thomas told Wubsy the story. Insert flashback here. Went to fetch water from the river at Ellsbridge Viaduct due to the water being out of order. Out of order? Bother, said Thomas. I'm thirsty. The driver had an idea. We can get some water from the river, he said. Thomas couldn't agree. So his driver and fireman used no bucket to collect the water. The bucket had several holes. Each time they had to drop the bucket and roll it up as quickly as it could. But they didn't check inside the bucket. So on his way, he felt the pain in his boiler. Steam hissed from a safety valve at an alarming rate. Oh, I've got such a pain, said Thomas. So he struggled on. His driver and fireman damped down his fire and went into a site out of the way at Farquhar to be checked. While Thomas's driver phoned for an engine inspector, Thomas's fireman saw a board with very large lettering, "Danger, keep away." He was inspected by an engine inspector and looked in his tank and came down and asked Tom Hat the first, so Charles Tom had to have a look in Thomas's tank. He climbed up, looked in the tank, and near fell up in surprise, saying, "Inspector, can you see fish?" Thomas was shocked. So Tom had and the engine inspector said, "Cheer up, Thomas. We'll soon put you right." So Tom Hat the first said, "Gracious me, how did the fish get in there, driver?" Thomas's driver said, "We must have fished them in our bucket. We didn't check." "So, Thomas, you went fishing, but we can't dawdle. We must get them out." So Thomas's crew took turns fishing, and Sir Tom had looked on and told them how to do it. When they caught the fish, they had love pennies of fish and chips. That was good," said Sir Tom Hat. Back to the present. Thomas said, after they had their fish and chips, so Tom had the first told me to never go fishing. After all, engines don't go fishing. It's too uncomfortable. Wumpsy was amazed. Thank you, Thomas. That was a great story. Before Thomas could reply, something pulled on Wumpsy's fishing rod. I got a bite, I got a bite. He pulled very hard and caught a fish. Wow, wow, I got a fish. Everybody cheered. Hooray! Everybody cheered. Thomas blew his whistle. Peep, peep, peep. Even Don was amazed. Well done, Wumpsy. Waiting patiently has really paid off, he said. Then everybody heard something. What's that noise? Lowell wondered. Everybody looked up and saw fish fall from the sky. And they were going to fall, not on Thomas, not on Red Petrol, or Krabby, or Wumpsy, or on the Louds, but on Donald. Look out, Duck Dude! Luna called out. But it was too late. All the fish landed on Donald's boat, but Donald smiled. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy! Suddenly, the boat and all the fish sank into the river. Donald was like, angry. Oh, nuts, he said. There goes my fish. Luna called out, are you alright, Duck Dude? I'm fine, Luna, said Donald. I'm very, very cold right now. He swam to the riverbank to his friends. Lynn Sr. grabbed the towel from Van Zilla and wrapped it around Donald. He felt his face. Oh dear, he said. He's feeling very cold. Thomas quickly had an idea. Donald, you can climb into my cab. I'll warm you up. Donald said, thank you, Thomas. You're very kind. So Donald, along with Lynn Sr., Lincoln, Lori, and Wumpsy, walked up to the tracks where Thomas was waiting. Donald climbed into his cabin and stood by his firebox, warming himself. Ah, that's better, said Donald. Thanks again, Thomas. That's what friends are for, said Thomas. Lincoln's stomach rumbled. Sounds like my stomach. I'm very, very hungry, he said. Me too, said Lynn. Me too, said Lucy. The last sister said, so are we. Everybody else agreed. Thomas had an idea. As you all had been fishing today, how about you all go back to Natford and get some fish and chips from the Nat Fish and Chip shop? Donald licked his beak. Fish and chips, that'll cheer me up, he said. Luna smiled. Fish and chips. I know about them. My friend Chung told me about it. Fish and chips is a British meal, a fish crispy batter and potatoes cut into different sizes and all fried in the fryer. Yeah, fish and chips are like fish with French fries, but they're like cut up into different sizes. I'd like to try some, said Lincoln. I've heard about fish and chips too, from when it was built in Scotland, in a factory by the builders, he said. Rita said, that's it, fish and chips shall be. Yay, said everybody. Soon the Loud family and fire trucks went back to Natford, while Thompson and with Donald and Wumpsy riding in his cab, falling behind. A few minutes later, Thomas arrived at Natford. Donald and Wumpsy jumped out of his cab and went to talk to Thomas. Thanks for the lift, Thomas, he said. Yeah, thank you, Thomas, said Donald. You're a really useful engine. Thomas smiled. No problem, my friends. Wumpsy and Donald heard a horn. It's the Lot family and Van Zilla, along with Red, Petrol, and Krabby in the car barn. Come on, you two, said Red, and rough the fish and chip shop. Come in, guys, said Donald. Goodbye, Thomas. Yeah, goodbye, Thomas, said Wumpsy. Thomas said, goodbye, my friends. May have a nice meal. Thomas gave a whistle goodbye, and everybody left for the fish and chip shop. So Tom Head came out of his office and walked over to Thomas. Hello, sir, said Thomas. Hello, Thomas, said Tom Head. I have heard about you helping Donald by letting him warm up in your cab at Ellsbridge Viaduct after his accident. That was a very kind thing you did. I agree with what Donald said to you. You're a really useful engine. Thank you, sir. I was happy to help my friends, said Thomas. I'm glad to hear it, Thomas, said Sir Tom Head. I think you deserve a break before your next passenger train on your branch line in 2 hours. Thomas smiled. Thanks again, sir. Thomas stayed at an empty siding to have a rest and fell asleep quickly. He was a very happy tank engine indeed. The end. So thanks to Jordan Shingler and Robbie Shaw. I'll give him a shout out tomorrow. Yeah, here's his channel right here. He does like a crossover music videos between all these franchises, like which first started Robbie Shaw style, Susie Crying, and all this stuff, all this great stuff. He has Well, I'll give him a shout out tomorrow. So thanks to Robbie Shaw and Jordan Shingler for providing the story of Gone Fishing. Thanks for watching. That's sub button for more vlogs. Like and comment down below. Hashtag I'm a creator. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Peace, my dudes.